Hello, everybody, getting lined up to go right now. All right, streaming on all channels. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you on this Thursday night. Precision radar showing that we have active storms. Over 15 tornadoes have been reported. Doesn't mean that one hasn't been reported twice. From the border of Iowa right into portions of central Iowa. An active tornado warning does continue for this storm here. See that? That's called a V notch on the front of that storm. That represents a counterclockwise and clockwise rotating thunderstorm or a supercell. That's heading off to the east. Des Moines storms heading in your general direction. Baseball size hail tonight. For us, things quieting down. Your forecast begins right now.
Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
Thanks for watching Hutch's weather. After 30 years of covering the weather on television screens across the region, now I stream live for you. If you have a question, drop it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, Nathan. Good to have you on board. Let's take a look at this storm system heading into Iowa right now. The active tornado warning is for this storm that's moving in the general direction of the area of Creston at 41 miles per hour. It's moving east, and the threat is considerable. 2-inch diameter hail possible from that puppy as it works its way off to the east. So as we take a look at some of the single site radar data to look in on the velocities, I'm doing this so you get a feel for how Hutch covers weather. There's a couple of things. Look at this storm to the north, south of Casey, right along the interstate here, and you see this little backwards C shape. That's a bite taken out of the storm. That is a hook echo, and that is oftentimes, not always, oftentimes where tornadoes form. This storm up here, it does have a history of tornadoes. This one here has that same bite taken out of the storm there. It's a weaker echo region on this side, and on this side we have the outflow wrapping around the backside, and well, that downdraft is scooping up and increasing the updraft of that storm. That's moving right over the Corning area right now. If we take a look at the velocity data straight up from the radar, let me see here if I can find that radar data. One moment for that here. There it is. Okay, so this is storm relative velocity, and we do see some very bright pinks reds next to very bright greens. So there is some very stout rotation in this storm. Do you see how the brightest or strongest winds are away from the center of the rotation? So here, there's bright reds here. This is a very broad rotation being picked up by the radar, and it's moving right into the Corning area. This is a radar indicated tornado. That is the location. It's moving off to the northeast at 41 miles per hour. So it's basically heading in that general direction of you folks in the Corning area. So here's the center of rotation. It really is only about 5 miles to the southeast of you, moving at 40 miles per hour. It will just be moments before it makes its way into your general area. Prescott, you should be taking your tornado precautions as well. Now, I look at straight velocity data here, if I could clear this path for just one moment here. Okay, very good. So now as we take a zoom out here, take a look at the velocities on the storm up north near the interstate up here, not far from Atlantic, heading into Des Moines. All of the data for velocity, storm relative, we're factoring in the motion of the storm as well. And we're not seeing any greens in there, which would represent motion toward the radar. Let's look at the straight out velocities from this storm here, and here it is as we take a look. Now we're seeing some reds in there. Let's see, I don't know why that keeps drawing for me. I don't want to do that, so see if I can turn that out and clear that. So there we go. Let's see if that works. And there we go. Okay, so here's the storm. It's moving over Corning. That definitely continues and still shows that tight rotation moving off to the east in that vicinity. So stout thunderstorms there. We also have a severe thunderstorm right on the Minnesota-Iowa border outside of the Spencer area in Iowa. Now this storm here, we're looking at velocity, we're not looking at the reflectivities here. It's working its way in the general direction of Armstrong, and the main threat from this particular cell here, well, let's see here. I'm going to have to See, that is going to be 1-inch diameter hail. It's moving off to the east at 44 miles per hour. So that's a look at what's going on there. Here's what happened in our neck of the woods today. We got some beneficial rain, but not all of it fell in the Fargo area. In fact, out at the airport, the measurement there, the official measurement, 3/100ths of an inch of rain. So that's not too much here. Here's the precipitation totals for the day across our area. You'll see we had a band of shower activity stretching from Steele, North Dakota, here in Kidder County, right up to areas in Grand Forks County, Walsh County, and the Pembina County area. Now, there was another batch of showers not far from Fargo, but Fargo picking up only 6/100ths of an inch at the Endon site in the North Fargo area. We did get a little bit more down to the south out there in Richland County, Wilkin County, but there were likely isolated areas with even more snow that worked its way through the area today. So that's what's going on here. Now let's take a look at what's going on in our neck of the woods now as we go back to the radar data here. And let's see if I can coax this thing into showing us some temperatures now. We have north winds working their way into the region right now. And as we take a look, see if I can pull that up here. Let's go manual mode here and zoom out to our area. Okay, so 46 in Grand Forks and Fargo, 39 as we look out towards Harvey in Wells County, mid 40s for Bismarck as well. And we have 30s up north of Newtown out there. In the Roseau and War Road area, we have 37 degrees on the thermometer there. So we do have some cooler north winds working their way into the region tonight, and most of the showers and thunder showers in our area are south of the Twin Cities, but still some gully washers there. Now I can show you a look at storm total precipitation estimates from the Doppler radar, and this will give us a better idea of where the rain fell in between rain buckets. Janet Bowman, thanks for watching. Detroit Lakes got good hail this afternoon. We'll look at rainfall totals, and then I'll show you some video clips that you uploaded to hutchesweather.com momentarily. And yes, Barnesville, Detroit Lakes country, seeing some hailstones. Okay, so now as we take a look at the storm total estimates by the Doppler radar in the area of Fargo, you'll see here that we did get some storms skirting just north of Fargo and just south of Fargo, and quite a bit of heavy rain. Now that rain worked its way from the Barnesville area right into western parts of Becker County here. How much does this say? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at what it's showing here. So where you see this the purple, that's upwards of 3/4 of an inch near Lake Park, Minnesota. Detroit Lakes got some good gully wash and rain, about 1/4 of an inch estimated there. Callaway North on 59 got about 3/4 of an inch. As we go down to the south into the Barnesville area, a good 4 to 5/10 of an inch of rain. Now in Fargo itself, down here in the North Fargo area, we had says 2/10 of an inch. We had 3/100ths reported at the airport, but you get out into parts of central and northern parts of Clay County, not far from Felton up here, 1/4 of an inch have worked its way through. Another batch of showers, but not necessarily thunder and lightning, worked its way through Ada. We did get some hail there as well. So this is a look at some of the rain that fell in our area as we look up to the north of Grand Forks. A good 1/3 of an inch possible in parts of northern Grand Forks County, Nelson County, through parts of Walsh County, North Dakota, and Marshall County, Minnesota. And look at good old Kitson County getting a soaker there with a good 1/4 of an inch. But there were plenty that got missed along the way as well. What did you get in your rain gauge? Let's see. Justin says, will Clinton, Iowa get the tornado or a tornado? I have family in the Clinton area. Justin, thanks for asking. I will tell you this. The storm systems tonight are expected to fizzle a little bit, and we're going to get to that forecast right now. Thank you for asking and wishing your family there the best in the Clinton, Iowa area. So as we take a look at that storm system here, one moment. It was basically moving right into Des Moines as we last saw here. Now we're looking at the rainfall estimates, so I got to switch up and head on back over to some single site radar data. So let's get over to that, and let's see if I can zoom out and get back over to the Iowa area. So as we take a look at where you're asking, that area up out towards Davenport is a ways away from those storms as to where they are right now. So they're fixing to make their way right into Des Moines right now. Will they last as they go all the way out here towards Clinton and out towards that, Davenport area of Iowa. There are also a batch of storms moving along the Minnesota border. Those have been severe with hail, the main threat, fewer tornado risks there. So that main tornado risk is right here, moving out of Omaha and along and in central parts of the state of Iowa. So let's get to that forecast here real quick. And as we do so, we'll take use of the hourly updated high resolution convection allowing model, we call it, and that allows for thunderstorms to develop. These models don't always develop the thunderstorms in the precise location of where we're expecting them or where we're seeing them though. So let's keep that in mind as we look at this information together. So here's a look at the forecast for these storms. Now we're looking at the ones in northern Iowa right now. And as we set this puppy into motion here, we're going to see those showers be persistent in the early overnight hours. And then after midnight at about 1 a.m., they start to move out of the area. There'll be a few that are moving out of western Iowa into eastern Iowa in the late night hours. But the question is, are we still expecting that risk of severe weather in that part of Iowa? For us, north winds will blow all night, and by daybreak, we could have some flakes up there spinning around near Lake of the Woods. Nothing too hefty, but don't be surprised if you see a flake hit your windshield out there. The strongest winds will be where the isobars are closest together here. That means most of Minnesota. We'll have brisk and cold north winds throughout the day here in Fargo and parts of western North Dakota, but we should see a little bit more sunshine, and I do believe the latter part of your day on your Good Friday will be the best. So here is a look at your 7-day planner. We're talking temperatures that will be in the 50s in Fargo, rising as we go through your Saturday to Easter Sunday back into the 60s. It looks delightful for the Easter holiday. Then heading into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, our next chance of rain here looks to be on Tuesday as we go through. That system will cool us off, but only briefly, as it looks like 60-degree weather does return to the Red River Valley. So that is a look at what's going on there. I hope that answered your question for you there. And thank you for asking. Ethan, hey, good to see you. How about Sioux Falls, South Dakota? These storms are exiting Sioux Falls. And as I take a look here for you to answer your question, Brenda, a look at the radar here showing that these storms were in Sioux Falls earlier and dumped some pretty precipitous hail. So these little yellow icons that you see right here, hail reports, and in and around, it looks like south of Sioux City, not Sioux Falls, my apologies, but in Sioux City is where that hail was reported out there. And that appears to be upwards of, let's see, pardon me. Here we go. A 1-inch in diameter hail in and around that Sioux City, Iowa area as those storms move through. One in Homer, 1.5-inch diameter. Sioux Falls did not get too much in the way of hail, and we don't see a ton of storm reports out here. Now, we did get some hail, and I promised you a look at some of your videos that you uploaded, and I got to say thanks to each and every one of you who have contributed over the months of Hutch's weather right here. Let's take a look at a couple of them. Really, these videos show it, and you can hear it. Check this out. Avril, thank you for uploading this video clip here. This is a Barnesville area. Look how big some of those stones are. Here we go. Okay, so they're bouncing off the ground, and those hailstones look to be, as reported by Averill, upwards of that dime to nickel sized for some of the larger stones that made their way out in that particular neck of the woods. So thanks again, Averill, for uploading your video. Here's another look at a few hailstones elsewhere. Comstock, thanks a lot, Tiffany, for uploading your photo of some smaller hail here, about pea-sized, working its way through your area. But it really did collect in Detroit Lakes. Look at this. And if we ask you to make a measurement of hailstones this severe weather season, you see this pile of hail right here? You're looking for the largest diameter stone. And that gives meteorologists ideas about how large the hail could be that the storm supported. And it does look like there were some pretty hefty sized ones there in the middle of those piles. They're not all the same shape. Julia, thank you so very, very much. And out in the Comstock area, the thunderstorm clouds were captured in beauty here, moving by the old silo. Tiffany, thanks again for your uploads aplenty. All right, so that is a look at our forecast. Let's go ahead and take a peek then at what we're expecting for your temperatures as we go into your Good Friday in the morning. I do expect, whoopsies, I clicked on the wrong item. Here we go. In the morning, temperatures will be in the 30s, cooler to the north and to the west in the blue areas. We'll have some near 30 degrees, some in the 20s out there, so maybe a good thing you didn't plant the whole garden just yet. Now look at this. As you go out into central Minnesota, the clouds and the showers there down toward the cities, keeping temperatures in the mid 40s to near 50 degrees. North winds will be gustiest, as I showed you on the isobars, in and on the Minnesota side of the Red River. We'll see some stout winds here in the Red River Valley. We usually do. Here is a peek then at the afternoon forecast. North winds 20 to 40. I think closer to the 20-mile-per-hour winds out in western North Dakota. So if you're in places like Dickinson and the oil patch, you'll warm up a little bit faster, or at least feel a little bit warmer as that sun will be out there. Notice temperatures, though, not exactly hot as you go through your day. Remember, I said there'd be a chance for some Lake of the Woods flurries up there, but other than that, it looks pretty high and dry. Temperatures near 50, southern Minnesota, near 50 in Fargo and down in Richland County, closer to 40 degrees as we go through the remainder of our northern counties, thanks to those north winds that'll be pretty blustery on your Good Friday. All right, we do want to let you know here that, well, let's see, how much rain did we get? Remember, this is what I showed last night. We did get a couple of those bands, one just south of Fargo. There was another narrow band right up here north of Fargo, and then this band. And these forecast amounts were pretty close, pretty accurate to what we saw falling across the region, with upwards of an inch in parts of southern Minnesota. So keep that in mind. Hope you had a chance to check out tonight's Weather Kit. It was a fun event for sure. And now let's take a look at something else that I'm excited to announce. You can find out more information by visiting gatecitybank.com, gatecity.bank rather, /100. There's an event that I'll be able to see you at right here, but something big is a brewing out there, and I cannot wait to, well, hopefully see you. Find out more information at gatecity.bank /100 coming up next week. I'll keep you informed on that as we get a little bit closer. Any other questions out here? Deb, thanks for watching. I appreciate that. Brenda, thanks for watching. Ethan, thank you for watching. And if you did happen to miss the old weather kid today and you're interested in signing a kid up to help Hutch do the weather, well, here's a little information on that before we let you go.
Being a Hutch's weather kid is fun. Look at all the sunshine. You get to learn about the weather.
To sign up, head on over in person to Luther Family Ford near I-29 and the 32nd Street exit, or head over to hutchesweather.com. All right, and here's a quick peek at hutchesweather.com. Live broadcast going on right now. You can join the conversation if you're on your browser anytime, anywhere. My latest videos are down here. Also, just to let you know, my fine sponsors make Hutch's Weather possible, like my good friends at Robert Gibb and Sons. Now, if you click on the logos here on the website, that will take you right to some of their promotional values that they have going on for you right now. Everything from a $2,000 tax credit that you may qualify for with the installation of a new system. Give them a call today. We're getting into that season where it's time to get our equipment checked out as well, and they can take care of that for you as well. A couple of other things on hutchesweather.com. If you are interested in signing up your kids to help Hutch do the weather, there's the Weather Kid button, and you can also see some of the fine examples of brave young folks who have helped Hutch do the weather by clicking right here. And all of the Weather Kids this season that we've had as Hutch's Weather Kids are posted up here for you, and a lot of dandies we've had thanks to my friends at Luther Family Ford. Luther Family Ford, thank you so much for allowing me and our Weather Kids to head into your showroom and talk about the weather. For now, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Temperatures tomorrow cooler, warming up for your holiday weekend. I'll keep you informed right here. Thanks for watching Hutch's Weather. Please hit the follow button on my Facebook page and subscribe on YouTube. But for now, have a wonderful evening.